Have you ever looked at yourself and thought, I'm not good enough? Have you ever felt that while everyone around you shines, you just fail? The truth is, we live in a world obsessed with perfection, with achievements, with flawless results, and when we fail to meet that standard, something inside us whispers, you are flawed. You have no value. That voice becomes a relentless judge. It compares you to every person who walks by. It points to every stumble as evidence of your inadequacy. But what if I told you that your cracks are not flaws, but rather the path through which you spread beauty in the world? What if what you call a defect is, in fact, your greatest purpose? What if the parts of you that you try to hide were exactly the parts the world most needs to see? This is the story of someone who learned this in the most unexpected way. In a small town in the countryside, where the streets still held memories of slower times, lived a young woman named Emma. Emma always felt inadequate, like a discordant note in a symphony. In school, she wasn't the smartest. There was always someone with better grades, quicker answers. At work, she wasn't the most efficient. Among friends, she wasn't the funniest or most charismatic. She watched the people around her achieve promotions, perfect relationships, lives that seemed to work, and then she looked at herself and saw only flaws. Why can't I be like them? She wondered. Every night, Emma worked at a small community library, a simple job, almost invisible, while her former college classmates posted photos of trips, achievements, and success stories. Emma organized old books on dusty shelves. She saw the posts celebrating promotions, wedding announcements, new cars, and she felt her stomach clench. She felt like a mistake, an imperfect version of what she should be. Her parents, with the best of intentions, didn't help. When are you going to do something real with your life, Emma? Her mother would ask during Sunday lunches. Emma didn't know how to answer, because she asked herself the same question every day, until one day, something changed. It was an autumn afternoon when an elderly man entered the library. He had white hair, calloused hands, and a kind smile. He didn't go straight to the shelves. He walked to the counter where Emma was, and his eyes studied her carefully. I apologize for bothering you, he said, but you seem to be carrying a great weight on your shoulders. May I ask what troubles you? Emma felt the tears forming. There was something in the kindness of that stranger that disarmed her defenses. She hesitated, but there was something in his voice that made her trust him. I feel like I'm not good enough. That everything I do is imperfect. That I have no real value. The old man nodded slowly, as if he recognized that pain. I understand perfectly. May I tell you a story? It's about a farmer I met many years ago. Emma nodded, not imagining that this story would change everything. The man sat down on a wooden chair near the window and began. Once upon a time, in a simple village, there was a farmer named Walter. He lived on the top of a hill, and every day, he descended to the river to fetch water. Walter carried 2 pots, one on each end of a wooden pole that he balanced on his shoulders. One of the pots was perfect, flawless, without a single mark. It retained every drop of water from the river to the house. The other pot was cracked. A fissure ran down its side, and throughout the walk back, it lost half the water. Emma listened attentively, and what happened? The perfect pot was proud of itself. Every day, it said, I am useful. I fulfill my function perfectly. I deliver 100% of what I promise. But the cracked pot lived in deep shame. It watched the water escaping through the crack and thought, I am a failure. I only deliver half. The farmer should throw me away and replace me with a pot that truly works. 2 years passed like this. The perfect pot, full of pride. The cracked pot, full of shame. The cracked pot began to avoid the gaze of the perfect pot. It felt ashamed to be there, taking up space. The old man paused, looking out the window where the leaves were falling. Until one day, the cracked pot couldn't bear it anymore. It spoke to the farmer. Master, forgive me. I am a failure. For 2 years, I have wasted half of your water. You work so hard, you strive so much, and because of me, you only receive half. You deserve a better pot. The farmer stopped. He looked at the cracked pot with tenderness, and then he said something that changed everything. "Have you noticed the flowers?" Emma frowned. "Flowers?" "Yes." The farmer continued. "Tomorrow, when we go for water, I want you to look at the path. Look at your side of the trail." And the next day, the cracked pot looked. "Do you see?" the farmer said. "On your side of the trail, there are flowers. Wild roses, daisies, sunflowers, lavender that scents the air. They grow lush, vibrant, colorful. An entire garden marking our way. On the side of the perfect pot, the earth is dry, just stones and dust, because no water falls there. But on your side, there is life. Beauty. Purpose." The old man leaned forward. The farmer then revealed, "I always knew about your crack, since the first day, and I chose to keep you, not despite the crack, but because of it. Do you know what I did? I planted seeds along the path on your side, seeds that needed constant watering. And every day, as we walked, you watered those seeds with the water that escaped through your crack, drop by drop, day after day, without realizing it. You were creating something extraordinary. For 2 years, you created a garden that feeds the bees, that cheers up tired travelers, that brings beauty to the world. The perfect pot fulfills its function, and there is value in that. It fills my pitcher. It quenches my thirst. But you do more than that. You transform your imperfection into purpose. You transform your crack into creation. Without your imperfection, the garden would not exist. The flowers would not grow. You didn't fail to be a pot. You became something much greater, a sower of life." The farmer placed his hand over the crack, not to fix it, but to honor it. Your crack is not your flaw. It is your signature. It is what makes you irreplaceable. The old man looked at Emma with shining eyes. The crack pot fell silent, and then, for the first time, it stopped looking inward at its own flaw and looked outward. It looked back along the path and saw the garden, an explosive garden of colors and life, a garden that never would have existed if it had been perfect. And in that moment, the crack did not disappear. The water continued to run out, but every lost drop had meaning. It had purpose. It had beauty. Emma felt tears stream down her face, tears of recognition, of liberation. "But what about the perfect pot?" she asked. "Wasn't it less valuable?" The old man smiled. "No, dear. It fulfilled its function with perfection, and there was genuine value in that. The farmer needed both, one to fill his pitcher, the other to water his garden. The point isn't that being perfect is bad. The point is that being imperfect isn't a flaw. It's a difference, another kind of purpose. You see, Emma, the world doesn't just need perfect people who fulfill their functions. The world needs people like you, people who, through their cracks, through their vulnerabilities, spread empathy, understanding, and beauty." Emma wiped her tears. "But I don't do anything special. I just organize books." "Do you think so?" the old man asked gently. "How many people have you helped find the right book at the right time? How many children have you made smile? How many times has your patience given someone permission to slow down? How many times has your attentive listening made someone feel truly heard?" Emma opened her mouth, but couldn't answer. The memories began to surface. The little girl who came every week and who one day hugged Emma, saying, "You are my favorite person." The widowed gentleman who said, "You are the only person who makes me feel like I still exist." The anxious teenager for whom Emma simply held her hand during a panic attack. The hundreds of small moments Emma had dismissed as insignificant. "You may not see it, Emma," the old man continued, "but along your path, there are flowers, hundreds of them. Flowers that only exist because you pass by, because you crack your sensitivity. Your empathy watered seeds that a perfect person would never have noticed. You don't need to build skyscrapers to have value. Sometimes, planting daisies is what the world needs most." In the following weeks, something changed in Emma, not externally, but internally. Emma started to pay attention, truly pay attention. She noticed Mia, the shy 10-year-old girl who came every week. Emma always thought it was just part of the job, but now she saw Mia was changing. Each week, she smiled more, spoke louder. One day, Mia brought a drawing of Emma as a book sorceress. "You taught me it's cool to be quiet and love reading," Mia said. "You show that quiet people are cool too." She noticed Mr. Henri, the widowed gentleman who came every afternoon. He never really read. He just talked. One day, his eyes filled with tears. "You are the only person who still asks how my day was. The only one who makes me feel like I am still a person." She noticed Sarah, the exhausted mother who always apologized for her noisy children. "Please don't apologize," Emma said. "Let them explore." Sarah started to cry. "Everyone makes me feel like I'm a terrible mother. You're the first person who acts like we are welcome." Emma was not perfect. She still made mistakes. She still had tough days. But now, she saw the garden she was creating. And for the first time in her life, she didn't feel like a crackpot. She felt like a sower of flowers. Life will tell you that you need to be perfect, that your flaws make you less valuable, that your cracks are a cause for shame. But the truth is otherwise. Your imperfections are not accidents. They are opportunities. They are the cracks that allow the light to enter. They are the flaws that make you human. They are the vulnerabilities that connect you with other broken hearts. Think about it. The most inspiring people you know are probably not the perfect ones. They are the ones who struggled, who failed, who got back up with visible scars and said, "I'm still here." They are the ones whose imperfection gave you permission to be imperfect too. The world already has many perfect pots fulfilling their functions. There is value in them. Without a doubt, we need efficiency, excellence, people who deliver results. But what the world truly needs, what is missing, are the crackpots. The people who are not afraid to let their vulnerabilities show. Because it is through those cracks that you water the world with genuine compassion, with authenticity, with beauty that cannot be manufactured or copied. When you hide your imperfections, when you try to be the perfect pot you are not, you deprive the world of your unique garden. You deprive the world of the flowers that only you can create. Think about the people who have impacted your life the most. They probably weren't the ones who had everything under control. They were the ones who said, "I struggle with this too." The ones who cried with you. The ones whose imperfection gave you permission to be human. Emma understood this. She stopped trying to be perfect and started watering her path with who she truly was. And the garden bloomed. So, the next time you look at yourself and see only flaws, remember, look back. See the flowers. See the lives you touch without realizing it. The words you said that someone needed to hear. The moments when your imperfect presence made all the difference. That time you listened to someone with total attention, and that person said afterward, "Thank you, I needed that." That time you were vulnerable about your struggles, and someone said, "Wow, I feel that way too." That time you were kind even when you were tired, and it changed someone's day. These are your flowers, your garden. You don't need to be perfect to have purpose. You don't need to have everything figured out to make a difference. You just need to keep walking. Keep being you, with your cracks, your vulnerabilities, your unique story, and trust that, along the way, you are creating a garden that only you can create, because your cracks are unique. Your way of watering the world is unique. Your garden is unique. So tell me, what flowers have you been scattering in the world without realizing it? Stop for a moment, look again, slower, with more kindness towards yourself. See the people whose eyes lit up when you showed up, the moments when your presence brought relief, the times your imperfection gave someone permission to be imperfect too. You will see you are not a mistake. You are a cracked miracle, leaving beauty wherever you go. And the world needs your garden. Only you can create it, because your cracks do not make you less valuable. They make you unique. They make you necessary. They make you you. Your cracks do not make you less valuable. They make you unique, and through them, you spread a beauty that only you can create. Keep watering, keep creating, keep being the crackpot that the world needs.